Evening and welcome to Our Voices, the People's Media. Today is Sunday, June 14th, and we are glad that you are with us today. I am pinch hitting until Mr. McIntosh is able to get his audio situated. So I would love to be able to say welcome to joining us to Our Voices this weekend. And I'll start by introducing our co-hosts. We have, of course, our founder and executive producer, Mr. Jerry McIntosh of Movement for Change, our wonderful chair for the Santa Rosa County Democrats, Dr. B.J. Brunius, the state committee woman in all things Florida Democratic Party for Okaloosa and the state of Florida, Miss Jill Lewis-Daggs. We have with us today our wonderful guest host, the statewide director for Black Voters Matter, Mr. Jamil Davis. And of course, we are with our wonderful host, co-founder and host and owner of WBQP TV, Mr. Vernon Watson. I am Derek Scott, and I'm happy to be with you. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Fabulous.
Right. Go Knicks. Anyway, go
ahead. I'm trying to get us. I gotta do the live stream and all that other stuff too. So I'm gonna put us on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with our wonderful roundtable. And I know Mr. McIntosh is still not there yet, so I will start with BJ and ask, what do you have going on that's good for us to know?
So what's going on in Santa Rosa County? We've got the Santa Rosa County Democratic Party meeting, which is this coming Thursday, 6 p.m. It's going to be virtual. And then the day after that, there is our Juneteenth celebration, which is going to take place in downtown Milton. Also on Thursday, earlier in the day, Gabe Valamine is going to be in Milton, Florida, which is in the northern part of Santa Rosa County, doing a coffee meet and greet. So if you're available, if you want to come and meet a congressional candidate and let her know what issues matter to you, that would be a great opportunity for you to be able to have one-on-one time with a congressional candidate, which is not very common, and at least in this part of Florida. So yeah, come on out. There's plenty of things to do, and we look forward to seeing you.
Thank you so much for that,
Can you hear
BJ. Jill, what do you have good for us today?
Mr. McIntosh, yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
You can? Okay. Thanks.
Good. There he is.
All right.
Jill, what do you have for us today?
Okay, perfect. So welcome, everybody. I will start with this long list that I have. So we have the 2 Juneteenth wonderful, fabulous events that are going on. The first one is in Crestview on Friday, Juneteenth. It is from 10 until 6 at the Crestview Community Center out on Commerce Drive. And it is an educational, of course, they have all of the fun stuff. They have all the food and the events for the kids. They have a whole kid room. They have outside activities for the kids. But probably the most important thing that the Crestview Juneteenth program does is it walks through. They have actors that act out the full Juneteenth, and they do it every 2 hours. And then they do the finale at 5 o'clock. And so it's just a wonderful opportunity to get educated, but thousands of people come. The mayor comes, and Crestview, the city of Crestview, the mayor was the first one to give all of the city workers and county workers off for Juneteenth, fully paid. And so to Mayor Whitten, we say thank you. And we hope that others around our Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa team will do the same. And then the very next day, we have another Juneteenth celebration at Landing Park from 10 to 3, free admission. And that is something new they're doing this year, so that should be good as well. And then I'm going to kind of backtrack and bounce here. Okaloosa DBC meets every second Tuesday at 6 p.m. via Zoom. Their next meeting isn't till July 14th because they just had one last week. And then the Okaloosa DEC, which is the Democratic Executive Committee, will meet this Tuesday, June 16th, 6 p.m. at the Niceville City Council chambers. And then the Okaloosa Environmental Caucus will meet the fourth Tuesday on June 23rd, and theirs is via Zoom at 6 p.m. So we kind of take up all the Tuesdays and share it in Okaloosa County for the Democratic functions. And then, as you know, we are still in the fight and the support of Senior Airman Fortson, who is the airman who was shot and killed. And July 13th, 2026 at 9 o'clock is their next hearing. So we've kind of gone hearing to hearing. It's been over a year. They still haven't gone to court. They do have a court date set for September, and every other month they make the family drive back down here for something else. Last time it was to decide whether he should be able to leave town and go get another job. The officer that shot him and killed him. And so the family just wants us to stand with them and stand for accountability. And that would be July 13th at 9 o'clock at the Okaloosa County Courthouse. And then Blue Solace, which is an organization that we used to have a organization, a club, a group of people that got together, and it wasn't necessarily Democrats or Republicans. It was just kind of everybody got together, and it was like a social hour. But it gave us the opportunity to bring in those candidates and elected officials that were in the capacity of supposed to be being in charge and representing all of their constituents. And we were able to ask them the hard and difficult questions. And so they've rebooted that, and they now call it the Blue Solace. They meet the second Wednesday of every month. And we do have people that come from Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. So if you're available on the second Wednesday, I would stop by. It's at Pepito's in Fort Walton Beach. And they were, this last time, just had our newly qualified HD3 candidate there. I'm sure we're going to go over that information. And then I am absolutely sure that Derek's going to go over the DBC, the Equal Ground, and the Knicks because they won. I'm just saying, you got to go over it. Come on, Derek, we're pulling it out of you. You got to do some sports tonight. You got it. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Derek.
He is wearing orange.
That's probably by default. I know, right? BJ, that's default. He probably don't know.
But BJ, you did live in New York, so you got to cover it. That's on you, my friend. Jill, you should go ahead and cover the Black Caucus Conference since that's your baby and your specialty.
It's my baby. Okay. It's my last baby, though. This is it. We're going to knock and go a different direction. But anyway, so we do have the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida is having a one-day conference July 17th in Orlando at the Rosen Center Hotel. It is going to be fun, exciting. Jamil's coming. Derek will be there. BJ, hopefully you're not working. And he's going to be there. But I promise you, we are really trying to set it up. I'm hoping Derek's going to put the flyer up because I'm so, but maybe he's not. But that's okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to meet that morning. We'll do the state of the caucus. We'll have breakfast for you. And then we're going to have 3 different panels. And this year we went with basically passing the torch and then showing up. So we have those that fought for us, that got us where we are. We have those that are fighting now. We have the future generation that's going to take the torch. But what good does all of that do if we don't show up? Show up in some capacity, whether that's reorganizing and restructuring what we need to do. But either way, we need to come together. And so we have that, 3 panels, and then we're going to go into a luncheon with a speaker that's going to bring that home and kind of have something a little bit different where we do the speaker, and then we also have a facilitator that will help us ask questions, because I didn't think people wanted to just come, sit, eat lunch, and just have somebody just speak at you. You need to be able to speak back. You need to be able to ask the questions. What good is a conference if we're just feeding you information and you don't get to give feedback? And then we started in 2024, I believe, the candidate extravaganza. And so that is where candidates from across the state, city council, commissioner, all the way to your House district, Senate, governor, whoever is running, has an opportunity and a platform at the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida's conference where you can come in, you get to talk for 3 to 5 minutes, share your information. And when we started this, it's a little bit different, and I'm sure we'll go over this later, but when we started it, the reason we did it was because there were so many counties that didn't have Democrats or people that they could get behind. Remember, we have 67 counties. We seldom have 67 candidates across every county, or a candidate in every county. And so people had money and they had time and they had energy and they wanted to do something, but they weren't sure, other than the 5 million emails that we get, what they could do. And so last time that we did it, it went over really well. People were able to say, you know what? Derek Scott is running for governor. He's not really, but he's running for governor. And therefore, I know Derek now, and I will go ahead and I will make phone calls. And Jamil is going to run for senator or whatever it might be. And BJ, Dr. Brunio said, you know what? I'm going to take on the city council and a commissioner seat. I'm going to do it all. But at least you can put a name and a face to who you're giving money to, who you're making phone calls to, who you're doing postcards for. And it really went over well. And so we're going to do that again this year. And that'll kind of be our kickoff. And then it flows into the Florida Democratic Party's Leadership Blue program that they have Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. And my understanding is Friday night, Chair Freed will have her kickoff Leadership Blue reception, and then they're asking statewide candidates to do if they want to, of course it costs money, but so it's not for free, but to sign up to do a reception. And then I remember, and Jamil, you might remember, a couple of years ago, somebody did an ice cream social, somebody did free drinks, somebody did cheese and wine, and it just gives the everyday person the opportunity to meet the candidates that are on the ballot. So that's kind of a preview. Our save the date is out for the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida. We will be sending everything out, and we just encourage all that this is an opportunity to come out, and we promise you'll have a good time, and we will have lots of really good information from our panelists. And I think it's really an opportunity to engage when there's just so much frustration and so much question on what do I do, what matters and what doesn't matter. And so we hope to at least start the conversation that desperately needs to happen. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Hey, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Now I'm going to...
Jerry said something.
I was just going to say you need to move to my left. Yeah, yeah, you need to say. Okay. All right.
I'm going to go to you, Mr. McIntosh. I know you got some stuff to share, so share it.
Okay, we got a Move for Change 29th Freedom It's Not Free banquet. The theme is Where Do We Go From Here? Our keynote speaker is Jasmine Burney Clark, founder and senior advisor to EcoGround. And our banquet is June 19th, which is coming Friday. Hopefully everybody be there. We'll be honoring people that has been working in our community. We got 3 honorees, and Derek is one of them. The honorees that we will be honoring Friday.
New to me.
I know we were gonna surprise you with it, but they said no, he might not show up. So we want to. I said he gonna show up. I said he gonna show up.
I was coming. I'm on the table. Hold on.
Yeah, they know you're doing so much. So I said he assured me he'd be there. But you are one of the honorees that we will be honoring for the work you've done in the community and what you are still doing. Our tickets, social hours from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. The program starts at 6 o'clock. The event will include silent auction, door prizes, and dinner. Tickets are $60. we still selling tickets. You have up until Friday to get those, up to Wednesday really to get those tickets. And we will, again, that's Move for Change, 29th annual Freedom is Not Free banquet. And our keynote speaker is Jasmine Barney Clark, who is the founder and senior advisor to Equal Ground. And that's June the 19th, this Friday coming. So hopefully we will see you there. All right. Derek, back to you.
Hey, Jamil, what do you have? Tell us what's happening with the world of Black Voters Matter.
Happening with the world of Black Voters Matter is that we are live and in effect and on the road. Yes, go ahead.
All right.
I got the kid. First and foremost, on the personal level, I got the kid here. She'll be turning 6 on Tuesday. So that's one. But also we have our Juneteenth weekend baby bus tour. So as you all know, Black Voters Matter, we have our vehicles that we affectionately call the blackest bus in America for the big, long actual tour bus. But then we have the nice 13, 14 passenger streamer vans that we affectionately call our baby buses. The big bus has some babies and here they go. And that baby bus will be live and in effect in North Florida for the Juneteenth weekend baby bus tour. We start Juneteenth in your favorite city and mine, Pensacola, Florida. That's where we start at Juneteenth, Pensacola, Florida. We will be at Juneteenth Gallery Night with the good and kind folks at Gallery Night. And also shout out to Life is Hell. We will be congregating and converging with them. We might even, time permits, might even pull the baby bus up to the good Juneteenth banquet over with the good people over at Movement for Change and come say hello and shake a couple of hands and have a bit of fun. And then June the 20th, which is Saturday, we will be in Panama City, Florida for their Juneteenth festival over at McKenzie Park. It's going to be from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. With the good people in Panama City, Florida. We're going to be touching down and connecting with a lot of our grassroots partners that does a lot of great work on the ground. And then concluding everything, we'll take a break on Sunday because Sunday's Father's Day. That should be a good time and opportunity for us to take a break and celebrate our fathers, including, this father that's having this conversation with you all right now. But then on Monday, we will be in the great city of Jacksonville, Florida. Duval, that's how you have to say it. It's written in the city charter. You can't say it any other way besides that. And we will be touching down on the steps of City Hall from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. for a Juneteenth voting rights rally with some of our great partners in Jacksonville. And then everything will conclude at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the church in Oakland, where the pastor is Pastor Christopher McKee Jr., and we will be having our Duval Faith Leaders Round Table because we're looking to build out a strong and diverse faith leaders coalition across North Florida for Black Voters Matter. Listen, Black Voters Matter has been really busy since this Calais decision has went down. I know we're probably going to touch on a lot of things post-Calais decision. I know we're going to also be touching on some things as to how the Calais decision has affected us statewide. But we are also on a national level starting our Freedom Summer campaign through the All Roads Lead to the South coalition that has been built post-Calais Supreme Court decision. I know many of you know about the wonderful and awesome All Roads Leads to the South rally that happened on May the 16th in Montgomery, Alabama. Of course, everybody also knows that we actually had an All Roads Leads to the South rally that happened here in the state of Florida the day before on May the 15th, in front of the Leon County Courthouse in Tallahassee, Florida. Close to 100 people did attend that rally. We then converged everything over from the Leon County Courthouse to the state capitol, where there was a protest and sit-in at the governor's office, where 4 people were arrested during that particular sit-in, including your favorite state rep and mine, State Representative Angie Nixon. So, a lot of things have been going on. I've been pretty busy out here in these North Florida and Florida streets, and I know we're going to talk a lot more about that. And I'm going to send it back over to you, Derek. Thanks for letting me have an opportunity to give y'all my TED Talk.
Hey, look at that. No problem. We're happy that you are with us and joining us this evening. By the way, on our Facebook live stream, give us a shout out. My dad is watching. Hey, Dad. And Armando says hello to BJ, Mr. McIntosh, and Jamil. So just passing that on to you.
Armando, my partner in crime. We'll probably get into that a bit later as well.
Yep, your partner in crime. So as we move forward, let me just share a little bit about what's happening in Escambia County. Of course, we have, I want to just put up while I have it, let's see if I can get back to it, are the things that are happening for us here in Escambia County. So we're going to start by, just so everybody's clear, we have our Escambia Democratic Party meeting this Tuesday, which is on June 16th at 5:30 p.m. This month, we are in meeting room C. So we're usually on the far west side of the library. This month, we're going to be on the far east side of the library. So please join us. If you cannot join us, send us an email to escambiadems@outlook.com, and you can get the Zoom link, and you can join us virtually. Moving forward on to Thursday, the Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus would love to invite you to their June general body meeting. It is going to be on Thursday, June 18th at 5:45 p.m. It is virtual via Zoom. They've got the link, the meeting ID, the password there up for grabs, so you can certainly feel free to jot that down if you need it, or you can go onto the Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus's Facebook page and pull the information down if you can't capture it today. We are going to have a few of the primary candidates that are running for the offices here in Escambia County. So those people that you're going to see on your primary ballot, which would include Jermaine Williams, who's running for the mayor, who's one of the candidates running for mayor of Pensacola, Ms. Erin Toller, who is running for Escambia County School Board District 1, Reverend Dr. Isaac Williams, who's also running for school board, but in District 3, and he is challenging the incumbent Dr. David Williams, who you will hear from, who is also running for school board, running for re-election for Escambia County School Board District 3. So those are the things that are happening this week. But I do want to take a moment because the 3 counties have something coming up that I want to make sure that you are aware of. And we are doing a boots on the ground training for folks in Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties. And that's going to be on Sunday. And I'm giving this, we'll talk about it again, but it's going to be on Sunday, June the 28th. So you've got 2 more Sundays. So you'll hear about it next Sunday as well. We're going to start at 1 p.m. and we're going to go through 3 p.m. And that's at the Citizens Moving Forward building, which is 6151 Dogwood Drive in Milton, Florida. So if you have a way that, if you're thinking about that you want to help Democrats win, but you're not sure where to start, we ask you to join us in this training that gives you the nuts and bolts on how to do just that. This is a low pressure, no experience needed event where you can learn different ways that people pitch in, from talking to voters, helping behind the scenes. There are plenty of ways to be involved in this election cycle, and we'll help you find something that fits you. You'll get an opportunity to meet wonderful people, friendly folks, like Miss Jill and Dr. BJ Brunius over there, and leave with a clear idea of what you can do next. We aren't going to do jargon, no big speeches, just tools that help you get prepared one fight at a time. So if you know that the world is on fire and you want to be a part of the Bucket Brigade, this is where to start. So we invite you to join us on Sunday, June the 28th. Why are you laughing? I didn't write it. I didn't never say the Bucket Brigade. That's not my language. I was reading, so don't laugh. That's Pam. Talk to Pam. Don't talk to me. But yeah, come on out. What you got to say, Jill? I see it all in your face, right? But you're killing me here. I don't even know what a bucket brigade is, but I assume that has to do with the water to put the fire.
Yeah.
No, I didn't get it, but it's what she said, so I just wrote it. I'm gonna move on. So that's that. Well, as we wanted to check and let's get everybody prepared, as we've been talking a lot of us have been trying to get candidates ready and get them on the ballot to run. And so this past Friday marked the end of qualifying for all candidates statewide. And so we wanted to give you a preview of the Democrats that you will see on your ballots in Escambia and Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. But what I will do is I will start at the statewide level. And then I'm going to kick it over I'm going to go east to west, I guess, and start with Okaloosa. And with that, just share with you who's on the statewide ballot. So as we know, we started with like 15 or so people running for that are Democrats. And again, I'm only talking about Democrats because those are the only people I'm interested in having a conversation about. But that's just me. But we're covering. We've gone down from about 14 people who are vying for the top ticket as a Democrat down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. So six candidates, and those 6 candidates running for governor are Evelyn Castillo Bach, Thomas Fernandez, Dana Marie Foster, who is a young sister. I don't know where she's located. Do you know, Jamil, where she is?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Fort Lauderdale, down the beach.
Okay. David Jolly and Ms. Is it Rep? I always want to say Senator, but it's Rep. Dottie Joseph, right? Rep. Dottie Joseph, who is running. Those are the 6 folks that have cast their ballot. I know you guys, we weren't with you last week, so we didn't get a chance to talk about, or maybe it happened this past week. I forget, the time is traveling. But I know many of you, I got a chance to hear from Mayor Jerry Demings, who was the mayor of Orange County. He unfortunately has suspended his campaign, which is the technical term for those to say he's not running for governor for the state of Florida. He was recently diagnosed as having prostate cancer. So certainly our thoughts and prayers are from the Our Voices family are with both him and his family as he conquers this next stage in his life. But certainly we know we want to wish him all the positivity and well wishes. So he's no longer in the race in that case. Now, as we move on down the line for the United States Senator, as Jamil said, we have your favorite Florida State Rep and ours as well, Representative Angie Nixon, who is facing off against Alex Vindman. and there are 4 other Republicans who are running in that race. So they'll have a primary and then 1 in PA. And if I'll go back down to governor, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Republicans that'll be in a primary running for governor. Moving down for Attorney General, JJR, or also known as Jose Javier Rodriguez, who is going to be the Democratic nominee, facing off against Republican incumbent James Uthmeyer. For Chief Financial Officer, we have a young brother who is new to the scene, or at least new to me, named Earl Ford Jr., who is running against former Senator and 9-time loser Annette Tadeo. I think that's the best way to say it. I mean, has she not lost? Am I wrong, or did she not? I'm just. Is that not a factual statement, or no?
It is. It is a
Okay,
fact.
I was just making sure. I don't want to. I don't want to put anybody else out, but there are 2, and they have a primary, and there's 2 challengers on the Republican side that will also have a primary. And then on the Commissioner of Agriculture ticket, there is Joy Mendoza Atkins, who will face off on a primary against Don Pritchard. And there are 2 Republicans who will face off in a primary this August and for the Commissioner of Agriculture seat. So there are a lot of people to vote for. So everybody will have a reason to get out and vote in this primary election. There should be no stone unturned that somebody doesn't get out to vote in this election. And then, of course, in Congress, our very own Miss Gay Vallimont, who is going to be the Democratic nominee for Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and the portion of Walton County. So after that, Jill, what do you have for Okaloosa?
Because we have some people that cross over. And if I say all of mine, then I might take away what BJ can say. So why don't you go to Santa Rosa first? Because I do have some other people that don't cross over to Santa Rosa.
Okay,
if I go over all of them, then BJ's going to say what Derek said, what Jill said.
Okay.
Okay, so for the meat in the middle of the 2 buns, Santa Rosa County, we've got 2 candidates running, and both of these districts actually overlap. So the House District 2 as well as House District 3 overlap into our neighboring county. So the person running in House District 2 is Johnny Austin Thompson, who is a Harvard law student who will be graduating at the end of this year, and who has threw his hat in the ring to run for House District 2. He's a Pensacola resident, but the district with redistricting takes a little small piece slither strategically for Republicans now into Santa Rosa County, because obviously they thought House District 2 was getting a little bit too blue. The other candidate is a microbiologist. Her name is Ingrid Wadsworth. She's a native of Wisconsin, but she comes here and she lives in Navarre. She is a microbiologist. She's actually a former chair of a Democratic Party, county Democratic Party in Wisconsin. And so she has some experience with party politics. She's had some experience with running for office as well. And so she will be running in House District 3, which encompasses the northern parts of Santa Rosa County as well as the northern part of Okaloosa County north of Crestview. And that's all we have.
All right.
Hey, Derek, before you move on, Dr. Williams had asked me to let him come on this week, and it slipped my mind. I apologize for not calling you and letting you know. I don't know if you can get him on now or not. But
tell Dr. Wiz we'll be happy to get him on next week.
Yeah, I do.
I'll send him a text and tell him we'll be happy to get him on next week.
Next week is Father's Day, so I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Never mind. Got it.
Okay. All right. So then I guess we jump to Okaloosa after that, and so of course HD3, as he just said, also covers a small portion of Okaloosa, and I really shouldn't say a small portion. It's the unincorporated portion. It's Laurel Hill and Holt and Baker and all those places in Okaloosa. So it's not really small. It's just very rural, very, very rural. And then we also have John Emmerling, who is running in House District 4. He's running against Pat Maney. Yes, that's how you say his name. And that covers most of Destin, Fort Walton, Niceville, Eglin. So that's the big chunk. But for Okaloosa County, for those two House districts, that covers all of Okaloosa. So everybody in Okaloosa has a House district person they can vote for. And then we also have in Senate District 2, Lauren Donahue. And she covers Walton Bay, Holmes, part of Okaloosa, Washington, Jackson, Calhoun. She's got a huge chunk. And she's kind of new to the scene, actually lives over there in your area, BJ, and she has decided and qualified to run. And so we have candidates that we can support. So we're super excited that we don't just have the top of the ticket, but that we have local people. And then we do have Sylvester Eccles that is running for Crestview City Council for re-election. He was just recently appointed, and he decided that he was having so much fun that he would go ahead and run for re-election. And I have to say, this is brand new to him, although he's always been engaged and involved. Former military, amazing person, but he has raised the second most amount of money for city council in Okaloosa, and he was the first one to come in and do a town hall and just sit back and listen. Like when I first saw him at the meeting, I was like, he's not really saying anything, but he really was absorbing what was going on. And then he had a town hall, and the people really appreciated the fact that he didn't just come in with his ideas. He said, tell me what you need. And so we need to pay attention to candidates that are like that. But just as important, I believe, is us doing that very thing. We need to speak up and say what we need and what we want. We can't assume that they know what's in our mind or what's going on in our neighborhoods or in our families, because they do not. And I think sometimes we get disappointed because they're not representing us, but we don't speak up and speak out and tell them what we need so that then we can hold them accountable when they don't do it. And that is all I have for Okaloosa.
Well, thank you for that. We have, I will tell you, last week was, I'll have to do, I'm on my apology tour. So for, for those who called me last week, I had to do a couple of rounds of apologies because I was a little curt and a little short with people, because last week was qualifying. And so I had a lot going on in very limited time, and my schedule was jam-packed every day last week. So I apologize, but it was for a good reason, because Escambia County we broke a record. And with that, what I will say is, for the first time, we have quite a few candidates. If you include Gabe Alamont and work our way down, we have on the local ballot, locally, we have a total of 14 candidates that are running in Escambia County. I've never have we ever had that many Democrats run in a race in life. And of those 14, so I guess let me rephrase. We have 14 to qualify. Of the 14, 2 were elected without opposition. So as of 12:30, they won their seats. So, let me first start by saying congratulations to Miss Misha Moyer Phillips, who was elected to the Escambia County Soil and Water Conservation for District 5, which is great to have a Democrat in District 5. If you know District 5, that's super red. So to have somebody democratically elected in that district is great. And certainly want to give a congratulations to Miss Shalisa Abraham, who is representing the Century Town Council on seat 3. So that's 2 of our candidates that are down. But of course, as I mentioned, we have Miss Gabe Alamont, as we all know, Miss Francesca Jabrian, who is running to represent the Florida House, the seat currently occupied by Michelle Salzman in District 1. BJ covered Johnny Austin Thompson, which is House District 2. We have Mr. Matthias Robinson, who is running for County Commissioner, District 2. Mr. Jacob Cavender, who is running for ECUA, District 4. We've got Miss Erin Toller, who is running for School Board for Escambia County, District 1. Mr. Gerald Washington Jr., who is running for School Board in District 2. And Reverend Dr. Isaac Williams, who has joined us, is running against the incumbent, Dr. David Williams, both Democrats, for School Board here in District 3. There are 3 registered Democrats who are running as mayor in this race for the primary, and that's Ms. Ann Hill, Alicia Trawick, and we all know our good friend to the show, Mr. Jermaine Williams. Those are the candidates that are running in Escambia County. So we're excited. We're going to have a busy primary and a busy, even busier general election. So it gives people to get something to come out for. In addition to those 2 candidates, we have 2 candidates that are NPAs that we're absolutely supporting, and that's Mr. Joe Vinson, who is running for the Board of County Commissioners for District 4, and Miss Gloria Horning, who is running for the ECUA, or Emerald Coast Utilities Authority Board for District 2. So got some folks that we're going to encourage everybody to get out for in Escambia County, so we're excited. And certainly we are fortunate to we'll give them about 5-6 minutes to introduce Reverend Dr. Isaac Williams, who is running for the Escambia County School Board, District 3. Dr. Williams, welcome.
And I'm a candidate for School Board District 3. I'm running because I toured the community through the ballot petition process to get on the ballot. And to me, that was a great indicator as I went out to see whether that what I was doing was the right thing. And as I knocked on doors and met with different individuals, there was an overwhelming cry to me that they wanted change in District 3. And I agree with them. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative that will listen, will communicate, and stay connected to the community. I've served in the military. I'm a retired Marine officer. I'm a pastor. I've been a chaplain, been a community activist. I sit on boards from local, district, state, and national. And so in those leadership roles, they have prepared me and helped me to fully embrace the concept of serving others as a servant leader. And I'm prepared now to serve District 3 as the newest school board member. I'll be elated. I'll be excited. Be grateful for the support of you and anyone that's out there listening to me to give me an opportunity to serve you. I'll serve with integrity. I have a track record of service for the last 40 years, one whose word is his bond. I'll serve with accountability. I believe that there ought to be transparency and accountability in leadership. And I believe leadership ought to remain connected to the community. I believe that if something is taking place in the community, taking place in the board, that it should be upon me to make sure I keep my constituencies informed, gathering local data, information. I can make local data decision that will be impactful. So that's me. I'll remain visible, accessible, and approachable as we create an environment for our students that's safe, supportive of our teachers. I want the teachers and the administrator know that you have a voice who will support you. I'll certainly set out to make sure that we can have revenues and allocate or pay raises for our teachers. I think it's immoral the rate that we pay our teachers for. We trust them to take care of our trusted, most valued access, our children, and we pay them minimal. So know that I want to be a voice. I want to be a voice of that change. And if given opportunity, you will see the results. Thank you so much, there.
Thank you, Dr.
Dr.
Williams, for
Williams.
joining us.
Yeah, Dr. Williams.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that Brother Jerry?
Yeah, it's me.
Suffering from
Just want when you come on the next time, we want to see your face. We want you to come on so the people know who you are.
Right. I was driving. I will be in my house in about 1 minute. And so I didn't want to be driving and breaking the law. So I had the camera off. But you all give me about 1 minute. In fact, I'm finna pull in my driveway and I'll sit in my vehicle. That's okay. And you all can see me. How about that?
That'll work. Whichever way you want to do it. If you're at home, you can get on your computer. That'll work too.
I would say, Dr. Williams, Mr. Vernon has your big billboard sign up, so he's got it up for you as a relate. So yeah. they can see you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, I have just. And I'm gonna go in the house and I go get on my computer. How about that? I had another meeting. When you're running, you go from one meeting to another, 2 and 3 a day, and so you're trying to hit all of them. And so, thank you all for allowing me to share with you all this evening.
No problem. Thanks, Dr. Williams. All right, we are going to move on with our normally scheduled programming. And so what we want to talk about, one thing that why are you looking at me like that?
Go Knicks.
Okay.
Can't we break from politics for a minute and just celebrate something good?
What you got? Give me two Knicks players. Give me 2 Knicks players.
Jalen, who's the MVP.
Who?
Come on, DJ.
Jalen.
Yeah, not my Jalen.
Jalen who?
Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
No, I wanted Jill.
Okay.
I want her to give me the 2.
Jill
she ain't got it. Go ahead and help her out, Jamil.
Hold
on. Listen, shout out to Jalen Brunson. Shout out to OG.
45 points, average 36. Come on, let's go. I don't have to know your last name. I just know. Well, let me just tell you, I'm not a Knicks fan. However,
shout out to OG Anunoby.
My daughter and her husband are, and their whole family, because they're from New York, so they're Knicks fans, and they were over there screaming and crying because they thought they were going to lose for 2 games. But it really is historical, so you can't pass this one up. Go ahead, Jamil.
No, this was a great moment, a great time. And the words of a local New Yorker. Their city, their mayor is Muslim. Their bagels are Jewish. The city is live. Knicks in 5. Knicks in 5. The New York Knicks won 4-1 against the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals. Will overlook Game 3 and the stuff that had to be saged out of the Garden after y'all, that person entered the Garden on Game 3 and came with the nonsense. But Jalen Brunson, he did his big work in Game 5, 45 points. He tied for the record for the most points in a closing NBA Finals game on the road. The only other person to do that in 1998 Michael Jordan. That should tell you everything. That should tell you everything that you need to know. Listen, this is the first time that the Knicks has won the NBA championship since 1973, which Spike Lee was at both. Spike Lee was at both games, so that should also tell you something else as well. Yeah, Spike was at the first actual championship winning game. I think he was like 14, 15 years old. He said that game is the game that made him a Knicks fan. It made him the Knicks fan that he is today. Spike Lee should get a ring along with everybody else on the team for his dedication to this team in hard times. To also see Rick Brunson, who was an assistant coach for the New York Knicks, watch his son, Jalen Brunson, not only win the championship, but be the MVP of the NBA Finals as an assistant coach for the New York Knicks. And Rick Brunson was also on the 1999 New York Knicks team that lost to the San Antonio Spurs 4-1 in the 1999 NBA Finals. So he watched his son avenge his defeat. These are great side stories that occurred on this team. Karl Anthony Towns is also a New York Knicks player. Karl Anthony Towns during the pandemic lost 7 of his family members, including his mother, to COVID. So this is also a story of redemption for him. And Jose Alvarado is an actual born and raised native New Yorker who plays for the New York Knicks after being traded from the Pelicans to the New York Knicks. And now he gets to win an NBA championship with his hometown team. This is great. This is wonderful. Shout out to Mayor Zoran Mamdani. They're probably going to try to change the city charter to keep that man mayor for as long as they possibly can. Because in his first 6 months of being mayor, that man has lowered the deficit in the city of New York and has been the mayor that served as the mayor to bring the New York Knicks an NBA championship. And he stated today on IG that Thursday is the day that they're going to be doing the New York Knicks parade, as well as a rally in front of City Hall, where they're going to give the entire team keys to the city, because that's what great mayors do. They care about their city, they care about the people in their city, and they care about the arts and culture of their city. Eric Adams could never. And so that's it. It's Knicks and 5. Knicks and 5. I'm very overjoyed.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a Knicks game since Patrick Ewing played, and I haven't watched a Spurs game since Tony Parker played. So it's been a while since I've watched a basketball game of any kind. But I do understand the amount of excitement, because when the Saints won the Super Bowl, because I'm from New Orleans, when the Saints won the Super Bowl, I do understand the excitement that generates within a city, and how the city usually comes together. I wish we could come together over other stuff more relevant than sports, but it is what it is. That's the world, that's the life that God has given us at this time. So I say celebrate New York, celebrate like you own it.
For whatever pulling for San Antonio, I think I was impressed with the young up and coming. He was impressive. They were all young. I don't know why I'm on twice, y'all. I turned my other off, but I'm cool. That's okay.
Dr.
Not
West, I have a
once.
question.
It's just a live stream.
I have
Okay,
a
yes.
question.
Yes.
So, am I understanding you correctly? That up
Yes.
to the last game, you were with the Knicks, and then you switched.
No, I was with the Knicks till they got to the final.
That's what I'm saying. Then you got to the final, and you said, "No,
I was with them when they went into the final.
uh-huh."
But after, because I'm not a big fan. So I'm just being transparent. But I watched the way those guys played, and I liked them, and so I started really pulling for them, even though I kind of felt that New York was going to take it. New York was the better team, really all around. They once they got hot, they played professional basketball at its best. They was par excellent. And so shout out to New York. Got nothing but love for New York. I love to ride the big red Decker when my wife and I went up there a few years ago, ride around the city. I love New York. So shout out to my New York fans. Much love, and look like y'all got a team that can repeat.
Yeah, when I saw they were down 29 points, this going to
9
be a
points,
blowout.
history making, just
Yeah.
history making. Never in the NBA Finals has anybody come back with 29 points. Last people who did that was 24 points when the Celtics played. I'm just saying, amazing. And you know what? I have to share this with Derek. Nobody else will probably understand this, but guess what? This was on K-Love. This Knicks win made it to K-Love, and they utilized the win to your struggle in life. So K-Love is a Christian radio station that I love.
K-pop people you be listening to?
Not K-pop. K-pop is demon. K-Love is Jesus. So get the name right. So K-Love said, when you struggle so much in life and you think you'll never, ever be able to, it's just too overwhelming. You have so many things. Be like the Knicks, stay in there, dig in deep, and you can win too. And it just was, I was like, look, I said, Jenna, Knicks are on K-Love. Let's go, because they're aware. So that's why on our voices, we have to talk about the Knicks, because we need to be aware of other things other than just politics.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel you on that. I feel you on
And
that.
of course, we tied everything into politics because Mayor Mamdani, he doing his big work.
Phenomenal.
Because he doing his big work. The Knicks felt like they had to do their big work.
And New York may have gotten a sweep if they hadn't let that orange man that live in the White House who hate black come to that game.
And jinxed him.
Well, let's cover a couple of things. We're going to backtrack just a little bit. We talked about candidate qualifying, and so we're going to work our way up to a couple of things that have happened. And I think we covered this the last time we were on the show, but we're going to talk a little bit more in depthly about it because it's official. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz has filed to run and be a candidate in Florida's 20th congressional district. If for those unaware, as we may have talked about, I can't remember if we've done this or not, but Florida's, I think we may have covered it a little bit. Florida's congressional district 20 is the last of two remaining black access seats in the state of Florida, meaning that they've historically been held, that CD20 and CD24 are the last of the two vestiges in the state of Florida that's held by black folks. In CD20, we had longtime Congressman Alcee Hastings, who held that seat up until his death, and then he was succeeded by former Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilis McCormick, who recently resigned her position amidst fraud charges. So after all of the crazy redistricting that has happened in the last of two black access seats, Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is a great leader in the Democratic Party, we'll give her that, and has done assumingly great things for the people in the state of Florida, has decided to go outside of her district and decided to take the safe route because her district was gerrymandered and is a little bit more right leaning than what she thinks she has the ability to lead to run in. And so instead of trying to use her name and her accolades and her achievements to run in her district, she has moseyed herself over and said, I'm going to take it from the black folks. What do you guys say? What do you guys think about that?
You forgot, and all that money that she had.
Yeah, and all that APAC money. Right. Mm-hmm.
This is politics, right?
We going all in today.
Let me share this, and I think there's a correlation between what I'm doing and what's happening where she is. In 2022, our current candidate, he lived in District 2. But because of his popularity, because being a coach, being a principal, being well known, his daddy, being a city council, instead of running in District 2, and so that we could have 2 people of color on the school board, he what the word you used, Jerry? Did you say Mander? What word you said she did? What word you use? She eats her way over there, whatever word you use. Mosey, there you go. Yeah. He moseyed his way over from District 2 to run in District 3 to run against Dr. Laura Elder. And I met with the young man. I said, Coach, don't do that. I said, listen, don't do this. And very much like Washington Massachusetts doing now, the law allowed me to run where I want to, and by law, he could run over there. Some thought he ran illegally. In fact, she filed a lawsuit against him, and he won it because the law states that in Escambia County, you can run in any district you want, except you must establish residence before you are sworn in November. So let's fast forward. She's doing the same thing. And so I have a problem with people doing that. I got a problem with what she's doing. She did a great work for our party, but I have a serious problem with you stay over there. Just because your district is a little more difficult, fight the good fight of faith. Stay over there and win, and don't come over here and try to take your influence and push out the potential black candidate. That's what I want to say.
And I'm concerned about it because we have, like Derek said, we only have 2 black districts left. And now she's running in that district to take that district from somebody that is a black that should be representing that constituency. And I'm concerned about that because a lot of things that I didn't like, a lot of policies that she was voted on in the first place or voted against. So she was more of a conservative Democrat than she was a progressive or liberal Democrat, as far as I'm concerned. And I could be wrong, but there were things that when she went against Hillary Clinton, when she was, I thought that was a bad decision that she was making when at that time. So it's things that I think that she didn't do. I'm not saying she was a bad person, but I'm just saying some policies that she had that I didn't like at all. And I think this decision here is one of those decisions. The reason I could not acquiesce on what she's doing. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jamil.
In the letter from a Birmingham jail, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. eloquently states that the person that we need to look at that's even worse than those who served on the Citizens Council, those who served on the Klan, is the white moderate.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't my words.
Those King words.
I've literally said those are the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from a letter from a Birmingham jail. Mm-hmm. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has exuded behavior that is very unbecoming. Oh, and also for the record, the thoughts and views of Jamil Davis does not reflect those of Black Voters Matter, Black Voters Matter Fund, Black Voters Matter, BBM Capacity Building Institute, or Black Voters Matter Power Pack. Let's get that out of the way. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has exhibited behavior that is very unbecoming of an individual that is supposed to be a part of a party that claims that they are the big tent party. Let's get that out of the way. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, if memory serves me correct, and people on this call that are very close and has very extensive knowledge of the Florida Democratic Party can correct me if I'm wrong. Debbie Wasserman Schultz is notoriously known as the individual that had a closed door meeting that was recorded prior to the 2016 election, where in that closed door meeting, Debbie, along with other individuals, stated that they were looking to redraw maps to draw certain individuals out of their congressional districts. No one's corrected me yet, so we'll continue on. Debbie Wasserman Schultz lives in Congressional District 22. Jill stated very correctly, has enough money in her war chest. We're going to refer to it as that, has enough money in her war chest where she can give a fighting chance in Congressional District 22, or because of the fact that you've leaned so heavily on a lot of helping pass what would be deemed conservative legislation, you probably could win Congressional District 22 in its current iteration that has been drawn on these 2026 gerrymandered maps. But instead, you decide that you want to come over to CD20, take pictures with the Black faith leaders, take pictures with the Black Haitian immigrants, and use that as a way to say, look guys, the community here supports me. The community in CD20 supports me. Instead of having a meeting with the Florida Legislative Black Caucus, who stated that they tried to schedule a meeting with you 4 different times and you ignored them 4 different times. You had a meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus and they did not encourage you to run in CD20. The House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries, has not endorsed you in this race. These are all things that we need to look at as indicators that you are doing a very egregious act in coming into a district where you, as a person who, for whatever reason on God's green earth, has some sort of power and stroke in not just the Florida Democratic Party, but the National Democratic Party, could use your bully pulpit as someone who has that much power and stroke to state that it is an outrage that the state of Florida and its congressional delegation currently has only 2 remaining Black access districts after maps have been gerrymandered in 2022 on the basis of racial gerrymandering and in 2026 on the basis of partisan gerrymandering. You could say these things, but you choose not to because power and control are more important to you than actually building a bench and building a solid succession plan and building solidarity with your Black constituents in the Florida Democratic Party. I'll yield my time.
It's always amazing to me that some of those usual user-friendly Negroes allow themselves to be taking photo ops without no policies. What are the policies that she's talking about bringing to the African American community? Uh, you know, what what did she promise them that the constituencies of that area should know? Or if anything, or if it's just a photo op when you come and take pictures with faith leaders, so-called faith leaders, to further your agenda, but not the agenda of the people that live in those districts. And like you said, Jamil, she could have been fighting to help preserve those black districts. If she got a war chest that big, she could. There are disenchanted Republicans here in the state of Florida as well, who maybe in that district probably would have voted for. Enough of them probably would have voted for. She'd only needed maybe about 2 or 3%, I guess, to win that election. If I'm right. So, but there are those who will, they will always sell us out uh, for nothing. And most of the time it's for nothing, just to be seen with somebody say, oh, I was with a potential congressperson of the night, and we've seen that so often. And it's time out for that. You should tell that if a person come to me, I'm gonna tell them you should go to the constituent and see what they want. Not not me. Go talk to them. See what they want. See what what's ailing them. That they need that help more than I would. So we all want to be represented, but we need people who are gonna actually represent us, and children need to see people in authority that look like us. Rather than looking to them. So no, she shouldn't be in that district, period.
Yeah. EJ, whichever, whoever.
What do you say right now? So I would say the way we started this is no disrespect to anybody, but completely different than what happens locally for us up here. Because we don't have the powerhouse that Debbie Wasserman Schultz is coming in to it would be Pensacola, because it's not going to be Santa Rosa or Okaloosa, but somewhere in Pensacola to a black district saying, hey, I'm just going to run up here when I should be somewhere else. And so I think it's a little bit different. It's a lot bit different. And I like the way, Jamil, you brought it back to what the real concern is. We have our own issues locally. Don't get me wrong. There are, especially when you have candidates that you're running against, everybody has different opinions. But this is different. This is a black district. There's only 2. And she's not black. I can't make her black. I can't wish her black. And I can't be God and change her to be black. She's not. So in the 2 black districts that are left, is it really going to hurt the people of the United States and the state of Florida to have 2 representatives that could be of color? Like, really? And she really does have the money to be able to potentially and very close win without even a lot of effort in the other district. But here's where we sit. So here's the question I would ask. Debbie loses, and you have those people that are upset. And she's done. So if she loses, she's done. She could have come in and she could have said, I'm going to run over here, but I'll give you $500,000 and I'll put it behind not one of the 6, one of the 6, come up and figure out who's going to be that black candidate and ensure that they win, which would have ensured that they then went over to the very next county, just a little bit over, because they just drew the lines like around your house, and they would have fought for you to help you win. But instead, you decide to do this. So if she loses, she's completely outdone. And if she wins, what does that do to the people in Broward County, to the people that are watching this across the state of Florida? And why is it that you want us to continue to say yes and not fight back in a way? And I don't even know what that looks like. But why is it that we should just say, oh, okay, this is okay? I've had people tell us, literally call up and say, and I don't know if I've shared this with the rest of you, I don't understand why people of color, they're just not black, but people of color, I don't understand why you guys are so upset. You know, if they win, what you should do is just make them do favors for you, hold them accountable. So obviously they don't know politics, because I would hope anybody that gets elected would stick to their word. And Dr. Williams said integrity. I would hope that everybody has that, but in politics, you don't often find that everybody has that. That doesn't mean that no one has it. And I do not believe that they should, okay, Debbie, you can run if you give us this. It should be Debbie should be able to say, I've been in this fight long enough. And she has, Mr. McIntosh, actually voted to support a lot of things that impact Black people. And if she really voted because she wanted to impact Black people, then she would have moved out of the way so she could continue to impact Black people in a positive way. But she didn't. So it just brings everything into question. And there's going to be a break. It's coming. When the primary, 7 o'clock Central Time, there will be a break. And so my question is, then what? EJ?
My thoughts are that her running in that district is emblematic of a system that always is going to protect incumbency. That's the way Congress is set up. Congress is set up that seniority, it doesn't matter who has the best ideas. It matters who's been in Congress the longest. That's who gets the gavel. That's who gets legislation put on the floor by the speaker. Those are the people who get their bills heard in committee. It's all based on seniority. So from a strategic standpoint, from the way the government currently works, which I don't believe in, I think the system sucks. But from a strategic standpoint, putting in a novice in a district that's used to having someone with 20 years of congressional experience is going to set the district back because of the way the system is. She still needs to go run in her district. But usually, I've said this before, usually the person with the most money, 90% of the time, wins the race. I also don't like that system. But that's just kind of the way it is. The person with the most money, the person with the most resources usually wins the race. So I'm a doctor. I'm an ER doctor. I'm trained. My brain is wired to prepare for emergencies. So, and 10 steps ahead if necessary. So if she does win our primary, what's going to be the demands? If she does win the primary, we still need her to win if she wins that primary. Like, we can't sit this out. Like, from a strategic standpoint, she needs to win the seat if she wins the race. She needs to win the general. So then once she wins that general, what are the demands that the constituency, she's got to have a new constituency. What are the demands that are going to be put on her as a representative to say, okay, now you talked about you had seniority. You talked about you going to get the gavel. Now, what does that gavel mean for everyday working people in Broward County?
Are they even going to have any demands? For real? Are they just going to take her word for granted, enjoy these fish fries, and keep it moving? Like, I would like to think, especially with the organizers and political operatives that I know within Broward County, those individuals I would like to think would be the ones that are going to have some demands, that are going to have some things to bring to the table. The other piece becomes, is she going to even listen to any of these demands? Because no, go ahead, Dr. Williams.
Yeah. Jill, I really like your comments and your analogy. I did want to circle back and perhaps help me a little bit, where you suggested that my comparison was kind of unique from what the question was, in that he used his same influence, his name recognition, he used his family history, he used his previous record to not running his district where he lived, but to get over in a district where it more advantageous for him to win, thus pushing out the African Americans. There's only one black district in Escambia County, majority district, 60-40. And so by moving over there, when he could have used that same influence in District 2 where he lived, and perhaps he probably could have won, came close, and we could have had 2. How is that so much different, if it's any different than what she is doing?
So, Derek, would you like to take this one? Let's just say that what we were talking about, I don't want to get into local politics on what this issue. This issue is about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the significant divide that is going to happen should she win or should she lose. And it's catastrophic. Does that make sense? So what happens in Escambia or Okaloosa or anywhere else is not something that's national. It's not something that when and if she loses, we have wiped out a very strong, remember, we do know that she brings something to the table. So if she loses, that's it. She's done. 0 gone. And if she wins, she has then broken that community in this state. And she starts the fireball of racial divide that has already been boiling. It just now is going to come from black people because white people did it a long time ago.
Okay.
And then what the hell are all y'all going to do when nobody votes?
Hey, could I add this, Jill? The trust has been broken in District 3.
Let's just say, I think the difference, I guess to bring it to a close, it would be different. You would have a stronger argument if David Williams were white, but David Williams isn't white. David,
okay, can I say this? Can I say this there? Let's use Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas, he black, but his voting record is horrific. When it comes to the black, it's still not. So just because you put a black face in a district, a black face in a position, that don't mean that blackness is for people of color.
So I'm going to say this, I'm going to be out of line, but not out of line. Just because you put a doctor in front of you or a pastor in front of you or a friend in front of you.
You don't have to use titles. You can just talk to me straight.
No, I'm saying in general, just in general. I've had doctors that have been very disappointing and have done things that they should never do. This is real life. And I've had friends that have supposed to be friends that aren't. And then you can say the black, white. But again, what we're talking about in Escambia is not going to break the Florida Democratic Party and the constituents in Broward and across the state. It's completely different. Not maybe for you as a candidate, but overall, the conversation we're having is because there are people sitting from Escambia all the way to the Keys waiting for this race to happen. And then whatever comes out of it. Okay, what you eating?
I'm muted, Mr. Burner.
What you eating?
Yeah, it must be pretty good.
Okay. I know, right? I was like, put it on the stove. Is that like a undercover way back in the day to say, "Hey, stop talking"?
That's our producer telling us to move on.
That's right.
Yes. Move on, because I think that's really we heard you. I think that's what you're trying to
do. Put it on the stove, Jill.
Okay, it's on the stove.
So put it on the stove.
Put on the stove over there.
So we're gonna put that on the stove.
We're gonna go to the next page,
and we're gonna go to the next one. I just I thought this was funny, and I to close it out, I do want to share something that I saw on Facebook that I thought was kind of hilarious, and I'm just going to put it up, and then that'll be the end of our discussion on Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And it was on Facebook. I just thought it was funny. It said colonizing CD20, and that certainly it speaks to the entirety of what it looks like. You say what?
That's extremely appropriate. Very appropriate.
It's extremely appropriate, right? So we're gonna move on now. In this past week, as we mentioned earlier today, in the broadcast. We unfortunately saw the exit or the suspension of Mayor Jerry Deming's campaign for the state of Florida, the governor of the next state of Florida, and um, in that same breath, we saw before he even qualified, mind you, um, former representative and leading in the person leading in the Democratic polls for the gubernatorial election, Representative David Jolly, um, announced that Gwen Graham was going to be his pick and lieutenant governor. Amidst, it was supposition until you went to the website for the Division of Elections the very next day and you saw it, and it was confirmed that it is so. For those unaware, Gwen Graham is the daughter of the late Bob Graham, former governor to the state of Florida. And Gwen Graham also had a gubernatorial run back in 2018 where she was handed an L by Andrew Gillum, thanks to those of us in the Florida Panhandle. Mm-hmm. So, what say you? What does this mean for Democrats in this election cycle? Should Representative Jolly be the presumptive nominee for the gubernatorial Democratic ticket? Jamil, what say you?
Ooh, me. Ooh, me. So there's a person who is there's a person who's a dear friend of ours, or dear associate constituent of ours, who has a cover photo on their Facebook page. Has a cover photo on their Facebook page of individuals they are supporting in this particular midterm top of the ticket race. Top of the ticket race. Last name. Her last name
starts with a B.
Yeah, you know, and
okay, thank you. That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, and if you took the E out of it, it would be plural for a lot of places where we keep animals. So, I'll leave it at that. That particular cover photo that they have says it all for me. Like, I'm not asking for Jamil, as much as I am a huge advocate for Black people, Black liberation, and Black issues. I'm not asking for the top of the ticket up and down to be blackity black. But that cover photo looks very lily white. And it is an indicator of the way that the Florida Democratic Party is playing in Black voters' faces. It is an indicator in the way that the Florida Democratic Party is stating time and time again that the concerns, the interest, and the outright conversations with Black constituents across the state of Florida is null and void. We are putting our full 100% support as far as the United States Senate goes behind somebody who ain't even lived in this state for 5 minutes. We putting our full 100% support. And I'm speaking to the Florida Democratic Party. I'm not speaking to this particular person who had the cover photo, because they did not have, or maybe I looked at it wrong, because I don't think they had
a candidate.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
There's no Senate candidate.
Yeah, and I was trying to remember it by memory, and I was like, I know for certain it's not a United States Senate candidate on that cover photo. So I'm just speaking to the Florida Democratic Party in this particular instance. We're going to support somebody who has stated time and time again in conversations with other individuals who has asked him this question that he will not debate his primary opponent. sees that there's no interest and no reason for him to debate his primary opponent. We are going to support somebody that time and time again has stated that they aren't taking APAC money, but we can look at your campaign funding and see otherwise. You know, you and Debbie had a picture together, you know, two peas in an APAC pod. But we're going to support these are the candidates we supporting. These are the individuals that we all think are going to ride us into victory in 2026. Has anybody outside of the people that's on this episode this evening and others that I know within the Florida Democratic Party and within the Florida Democratic Black Caucus, has anybody else had any conversations with Black people in this party? Has anybody else had any conversations with, better yet, has anybody in the party had any conversations with any of the individuals that are in the Democratic Black Caucus of the state of Florida? Because I feel that if that were the case, it would speak better to the way that we just wouldn't immediately jump, and whether vocally or financially support candidates in the midst of a primary. We would allow for individuals to have equal opportunity, equal time, and equal space during this primary, instead of telling one candidate 3 months before DEC weekend meeting and another candidate 3 days before the DEC meeting that they got to pay $5,000 just to talk at a DEC weekend meeting, where the other candidate that was told 3 days before the DEC meeting is the sitting state representative for that city that the DEC meeting was in. I know this because it happened the same day as my wedding. Mm-hmm. In the city that my wedding was in. Again, I yield my time. Like, I yield my time.
What? I'm stuttering, so I'm nervous.
I know. Well, say, what's happening?
I'm glitching out. I'm glitching out. I think we have to have at least the honesty with which I saw the revelation of everything you have just brought to the forefront of this discussion. Is I truly think that the leadership is a reflection of the electorate, the Democratic electorate, because what I saw was a lot of excitement, even from people who are not technically involved in Democratic Party leadership, but are just registered Democrats who may be active online. There was a lot of excitement when that candidate that you referred to jumped in the race, even though there was a whole nother candidate that had been running for a whole year. But when that person got in the race, there was a lot of excitement, and the people that were excited were not people who looked like the people on this screen. So we have to reckon with the idea that we've got to persuade the electorate. The electorate is not there behind people that you're discussing. So I think that the party leadership structure is really just a reflection of an electorate that we struggle to deal with on a daily basis throughout the South, I would say.
And I also think we also have to reckon with the fact, and in me saying what I'm about to say, BJ, I completely and totally and 100% agree with everything that you're saying. I think the party is also going to have to reckon with the fact that if they don't start having true conversations about what a sound organizing and conversation plan looks like with the Black electorate from now until election day. Some of these Black voters are going to be like, hey, so y'all know we can stay home, right? Or, hey, so y'all know we can go and just vote for like the local municipal races, and we don't have to vote for none of y'all top ticket stuff. Because none of the top ticket stuff speaks to none of these people are speaking to the issues that we are speaking to, and that are affecting us in our communities. People are saying, I'm hearing people online say that Black voters and the Black constituency, they don't care about the gutting of Section 2 and Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act. I don't know who y'all talking to.
Me either.
Like I absolutely don't know who y'all talking to. And then some of them tell me, oh, but those are the young Black voters. So even if we buy into this garbage nonsense myth that the young Black voter electorate of 18 to 35 don't turn out in record numbers, which they don't turn out because y'all not giving them nobody to turn out for, because they did turn out in 2018 for Andrew Gillum, and for this special election that occurred in 2025 right here in this area, like in the area that this show is being broadcast in. Young Black voters turned out in huge numbers because y'all gave them somebody that actually would listen to their votes, and the young Black political operatives in this area spoke in good faith that this person would do what they said they was going to do. But even if we take that out, even if we take that out, 18 to 35 year olds are out here in these streets talking about the fact that the Calais decision is affecting them on the Calais decision is affecting us on a greater level when it comes to voting rights. The Calais decision is going to affect me when it comes to how my ID is going to be accepted when I go and vote. Mm-hmm. We have candidates that's running for Senate, that's running for governor, and that's running for some of these key congressional races who have not put out any statements since the Calais decision has come, have not put out any statements. None. And that speaks to the nonsensical way that not just those candidates, but the party as a whole is handling Black issues and is handling is handling the Black electorate. And I know we keep reaching for this imaginary MPA that we can flip, or we keep reaching for this imaginary Republicans that we can flip because they no longer want to be associated with MAGA. And I want to tell y'all that those people are the exception. They are not the rule. So if we're going to keep reaching for these imaginary MPAs and reaching for these imaginary Republicans who don't want to be MAGA, and we're going to completely ignore the Black electorate are going to look at y'all one day and say, we not the side chick no more. And y'all going to stop treating us like we the side chick.
Yep. I do want to just say, because you brought it up, give a special shout out to Escambia County, because you are 100% correct. In the 2025, I just had our Escambia Supervisor of Elections pull the numbers for the 2025 special elections. And I think for the first time, I'm just going to venture to say, because I don't know that it could have ever happened before, but in the first time ever, Black voter turnout exceeded white voter turnout in the special election. So when we talk about in the one that we just had for gay, and I thought that was amazing, on a percent basis. I'm like, wow, go ahead. All right. Who'd thought? And then to your point, youth voter turnout. So where we've been doing a lot of attributing the success in Escambia County to MPAs. Nope. I got to course correct and say not only, they held a significant part, but it's also Black voters and young Black voters who turned out to make that happen. So even when we're outnumbered, when we show up, we win. So yes, I agree. But I do also want to. So here's my concern, and going back to the announcement with Gwen Graham. So my hope was, assuming, because I'm trying to do a future forward analysis or a prediction of what's going to happen in the August 18th primary, right? And my assumption will be that David Jolly comes out to be the nominee in the gubernatorial race. My hope was when Jerry Demings suspended his campaign indefinitely, that Black voters would be able to find a home in the Jolly campaign. And I think, although the lieutenant governor, because let's think about it. Aside from the guy, Jay Collins, I don't know that I can name 2 lieutenant governors of the state of Florida in the past. Like I don't know. I don't know who they are. Right. And I find the position to be a little bit more ceremonial than anything. Right. But still, as a commitment to Black voters to finding a home, I would have hoped that that position would have been reserved for someone who looked like us in the community. But instead, what, in my opinion, I saw was a very Republican-esque way of thinking in the decision that was made, right? So, it seems like Black voters yet again are getting the short end of the stick. So what happens? Now I'm not saying that Rep Joseph was not planning to get in the race, but I find it, interesting that the timing happened, immediately after the decision for Gwen Graham coming in, right? So we have that, but then what happens after? What happens after August 18th when it's time to go to the general election? You don't see anybody that's reflective in the presumptive nominees campaign. You go to where you find it. And, what we do have to acknowledge is that Desmond Meade has done a lot of work in the state of Florida. People know him. Yes on 4, no, yes on 4, no on 3, right? He's got money coming in that's going to back him. Black voters are going to move in that direction, which again fractures the vote, handing Democrats yet another loss. And Byron Donalds becomes the next governor of the state of Florida. The only way that doesn't happen, let's hope that racism prevails in the Republican Party, and those folks say, nope, I can't pull a lever for the Black man. I don't know. I'm still not there. I know Jill disagrees. Jill, what you got?
No, here's what I think. I don't disagree with any of that. He's saying I disagree that I just don't know that. I think Republicans sometimes it's not just Republicans, those people that follow the person in the White House, whoever it is, whoever you are, because they still follow the person in the White House, I believe they can check the box with Byron because they still follow the person in the White House and They still think he has ultimate control. So, but here's what I thought when I heard that. I thought, how can I say this nicely?
I'll have to say it nicely. Just say it.
I thought it was an asinine decision for you to show your hand 2 months before, 4 months before you needed to. Because if I was on the other side, and they're struggling, because guess what? Just like Derek said, they know Byron's Black and they know they are in Florida. So they were struggling, trying to figure out who was the right person to beat Jolly. And then Jolly gives them everything on a silver freaking platter. It says here, I went with a white woman. And she white. She's not disabled. She's not LGBTQ. She's not Asian. She's not black. She white. And he's white. He's a used to be Republican. She's a used to I lost in the panhandle running for the same position, the higher position. So if I'm them, I go in behind their closed doors until they're operatives down in the gray side. And I figure out exactly who it takes to beat Jolly and beat Gwen Graham, because they just need the right person to make the color of his skin insignificant. That's all they need. And we gave them everything they need to do that. And so to me, that it was, okay, you didn't even take the time to think and say, hey, I know there's going to be a group of people that wants a minority of some sort. You just went on and like that, a very Republican move. The ticket that wins in Florida is white. That's what they said. Instead of saying, okay, what, give me some, even make it look like you were thinking about it. Even if you ended up with Gwen, it would have been really nice for you to have some other people that you actually sat down and talked to.
The ticket.
But more importantly, right now, I think that they have the upper hand because what was the purpose? Jamil, you've probably been in this maybe on that side longer than probably most of us. What would be the purpose? I've never, ever seen where you come out before the primary and tell us who your lieutenant governor is. Who cares?
Before you qualify.
And before you qualify, and Jerry was out, so you couldn't even say it was because I wanted to make sure.
And that's literally what I was going to say. There was literally no reason. As much as there are other candidates that we enjoy and that we probably will support that's running in this primary, a Dana Marie Foster, a Dodie Joseph, and Dodie hadn't even qualified yet. She hadn't even said that she was running in the race. Your biggest threat to you winning the Democratic primary the day before you tell everybody that going in is your running mate, either the day before or the day of. The biggest threat says, I'm out. There was no reason. There was absolutely no reason. And Jill is absolutely correct. You handed them everything because they know that for all intents and purposes, unless some huge miraculous thing occurs between now and August the 18th, David Jolly is going to be the presumptive Democratic nominee for Florida governor. They know this. And you just gave them everything. So Byron just gonna sit and chill. Mm-hmm. Byron is just gonna sit and chill. And then sometime within late August, early September, he gonna announce who his running mate is. And his running mate is going to be the complete antithesis of you and Gwen. So, and Desmond and Desmond don't care. Desmond is like, I don't have to do any type of primaries. I'm good all the way up until November. So I can announce who my running mate is at any time. I'm in a position that I can literally announce my running mate 2 days before the first day of early voting in October.
So Jamil, is Desmond running as a Democrat or independent?
It's definitely independent.
Independent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I
and that's why
he was.
and that's why Desmond doesn't have to worry about anything all the way up until November. Like Desmond's like, I'm good. We good out here all the way until November. Desmond is in the driver's seat a bit more better than David or Byron. Desmond has a proven track record of what he can do as far as something on a ballot. He drew out 63 to 64% of the voting populace on an issue. Desmond and FRRC did that. Desmond also has the ability, with the fact of that, to draw MPAs. who don't feel like who don't feel like either party is talking to them for real in order for them to flip to one of the parties to vote. Because everybody don't like Byron because of the fact that he rose with Trump, and everybody don't like David Jolly because of the fact that 30 minutes ago you was a whole Republican. So these are the two things that we have to look at when we're looking at the fact that Desmond Meade is running in this governor's race. And for all of these people who, because I've heard this as well. Well, Desmond running as an independent, so he's not going to take as many votes as we think he is. Are you crazy? This is Florida. At this point now, nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me when it comes to the state of Florida. If Desmond can take a considerable amount, if Desmond can take 35 to 38% of the voting of the electorate, no matter what party, no matter what demographic, if Desmond can take 35 to 38% of the electorate, Byron Donalds is walking in as the governor of Florida. This is not going to be a 35,000 vote situation as it was in 2018. And that was the other thing I wanted to bring up when Jill said the party's message is white when it comes to the top of the ticket electorate. Why should that be the party's message why should that be the party's message when within the last 10 to 12 years, the closest that you came to actually having the governor's seat that wasn't Bob Graham was a Black man from Tallahassee who graduated from Florida A&M University? That's the closest you've ever come within the last 10 to 12 years of getting the governor's seat. Because the very next midterm cycle, the guy that y'all brought in, who was a Republican 20 minutes ago, lost by 1.1 million votes.
That's crazy. So
y'all need to really think about what people really are. Gas is $4. Gas is $4 a gallon. That's one of the things that people are concerned with. The fact that two counties in this state, Orange County, a county in a municipality, Orange County and St. Pete, were able to pass rent stabilization in their areas. And then the very next year, the state legislature says, not only can y'all not have rent stabilization, nobody in this state can. That's a concern of your voters in this area. The fact that in 22, they took two minority access districts in 22, and then turned around and said, we're gonna take a couple of more Dem seats in 26, but we're gonna let y'all still have these two, the last two Black districts that we let exist in 2022. We still gonna let y'all have those. But one of us is gonna have a conversation with Debbie about going over and running in that district. These are concerns of Black voters. And the biggest concern is that the issues that they actually legitimately care about, nobody in the party is listening to them. Because if they were the actual candidate that they keep putting up on the pedestal as the great hope for winning this U.S. Senate ticket, he would actually be saying some things about a lot of the issues that Black voters and voters of color are concerned with right now.
You know, so they're not talking about housing, food, the cutting of free lunch programs, like you said, the gas prices. the hype insurance that's going
Alexander
through the
Vim,
roof.
Alexander Vindman still gives the same dry affordability crisis in the state of Florida. No, name these things. Name these things as they are.
Right.
Name the things as they are happening in the state. People can't afford to live. People can't afford to pay their rent. People can't afford to. People can't afford their insurance, whether it be car insurance, whether it be property insurance, whether it be disaster insurance. People can't afford their insurance, and some of these insurance companies are actually leaving out. And instead of figuring, you have a concept of a plan when it comes to what we are going to do if people vote in favor of this property tax exemption situation on this year's ballot. You don't even have you don't have a proper replacement plan for that. You don't. And no one is talking about that. They just give the same dry affordability crisis. There's an affordability crisis going on in the state of Florida. It's been an affordability crisis going on in the state of Florida for the last 20 years.
I'm telling you, one
Miss
of the
me with
things,
that.
yeah, one of the things Mondani did in New York, he called out what the issue was, and he listened to the people, addressed it to, and so he could address those issues. He listened to people who were riding buses and said they couldn't get to the suburbs where the jobs was at. He listened to the people who talked about the high cost of rent, and he doing everything he can to make it affordable to the people. He talked about how the rich is getting away with not paying taxes in New York, and so he's pushing those issues. Then when like they said, when the snow fell in New York and all these other times they had trouble getting up the snow, what did he do? He hired the people that lived in those communities to get up the snow. So it was just, and the streets that people said they had been falling through holes on with their car, tearing their car with these potholes. He's making sure that they get fixed in those communities as well. No, Derek.
I want to say one last thing and then I'm done. I promise you, I'm done. I promise you, Derek, I'm done. I'm gonna shut this mic off. There are people that continuously keep saying that a progressive candidate cannot win in the state of Florida. Progressiveness cannot win in the state of Florida. Every time that we have had some sort of progressive issue or significant progressive candidate on the ballot, it has either won or they have had to do numerous recounts to figure out whether that person or that issue has won or not. 2018, 63 to 65% of the Florida voters said we want for returning citizens to have their voting rights back. Andrew Gillum only lost by 35,000 votes. 2024, I think 53 to 55% of Florida voters, even though we have this whole big crazy thing of you got to get it to 60%. We should not lose focus of the fact that 55% of Florida voters said that they want for people who have babies to be able to have proper reproductive rights in this country. In this state. And 52% of Florida voters said we want recreational marijuana. Maxwell Frost literally is in Congress again because won't nobody run against him in this midterm election. And Maxwell has won. Orange County, I think 64 to 65% of Orange County voters said they wanted rent stabilization. 65 to 67% of St. Pete voters said they wanted rent stabilization. Every time you put something progressive on the ballot, it's going to win every time.
Right. It's
It's
already done.
9:01. Yeah.
9:01, yeah.
Before you do your book thing, I just want to do a quick funny, and then we'll let you do your books. And in this, I thought it was funny, so I'm just gonna share it.
You can
Let
just
it
go
be.
ahead, Derek. I'm not gonna do the books tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're there, can you uh tell me what's wrong with the picture?
You spell achievability wrong.
Right. The idiot is on a press tour,
Oh,
a
yeah.
presser, having a press conference in the state of Florida, talking about the perils of public education and can't even spell
Yeah.
achievability. Got it on the poster on front of his thing. Achievability, achieve and ability, put it together. And this is who the Republicans
Mhm.
think is going to be the savior of the great state of Florida. Achievability. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Just thought it was funny.
And if we don't get it together, we're going to have Clarence Thomas as the chief executive of this state.
Right. Folks got to show up. Well, we thank you,
Jared,
Jamil.
but Jared, I didn't get a chance to even come in this conversation the whole time. So that's all right.
We'll have you back.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have you back, but it was just so intense as far as the state is concerned.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah,
We'll thank you, Dr. Isaac Williams. Thank you, Jamil. Please know that you have an open invitation, to join us. Jamil, whenever you would like, we would love to have you on. You add so much value, and we will see you all. No, not next week. I know you're about to raise your hand. Not next week, because next week is Father's Week, Father's Day weekend. We will see you the following week. So we will see you then. Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend. Good week. Bye-bye.
thanks.